What's up, YouTube? It's Aaron, aka Feldy. How is everybody doing out there? It is coming up on my 31st birthday, and I want to do a couple of fun, cool things in preparation for it. And the first thing that came to mind was I own more than 31 ties. Clearly, I need to incorporate 31 ties and turning 31 somehow together. So for this video, we are going to do something utterly ridiculous. I'm going to see how fast I can tie 31 ties. So I got number 1 queued up here. I've got 30 queued up here. Each of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, stacks, whatever these are going to be called, of 6 each for a total of 31. We are going to see how quickly we can do this. So for each of these, I'm going to tie the tie, bring it together, set it up nicely, collar properly, and there we go. So we actually have a properly tied knot, as opposed to tie, throw off, like no. We're looking nice, we've got this, the tie is good. So that is going to be the rules of this game. So let's pop this collar, let's get this going. And, all right. Let's cue a timer. Where are we going to put the timer? I think we're going to put the timer roughly around here in this empty space here, so we're not looking at me, we're not looking at anything else, and we can get things going. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, there we go. That is tie number 1 looking good. So let's pop this guy and move on to tie number 2. This lovely purple member that I got as a Christmas present from a friend of mine. It's nice, it's smooth, it is a solid colored tie, something I definitely appreciate having in my arsenal. It definitely pops up a little bit faded in this video, but the bottom bit that catches the light is gorgeous. All right, tie number 2 done. Let's go on to tie number 3. Let's keep going with this one. We got ourselves a nice green, greenish blue. I'm not even sure the color combination here. Striped tie. That, given I'm wearing a solid shirt with some solid suspenders, gives a nice little bit of fun going on to this outfit, taking it from something that is just sort of plain and monocolored to providing a bit of something to note and to look at. All right, gotta pop that there. There we go. That feels pretty nice to that tie. All right, tie number 3 done. Let's go on to tie number 4. We've got ourselves, what would you call this color? The first color idea that comes to mind is this is probably a bronze, but it could be something a little different than that. It's definitely a metallic color of some sort with a fun little window box shape on the front. Again, to give it a little bit of personality. Nothing too crazy, but a fun pattern that sets it apart from some of the other ties in my collection. And that is number 4 done. All right, let's pull you, drop you right there. All right, this is the most boring tie that I have for this outfit. We've got a black tie with some repeated white flecks over it. It's kind of a little bit like it's snowing across the tie. It's kind of cool when you can pair it up with a light colored shirt so that something pops up with it. Ooh, definitely made the tail a little long on this one, but we will take it. So yeah, it definitely lightens up against this one. You can see right here, kind of fun. All right, and there we go. This one is done. What number are we at? I've already lost track. I know that they're in columns of 5 plus 1, so there we go. All right, blue and green stripes. This is nice, it's bold, the color green is wonderful. I really, really enjoy this tie. Now, as someone who streamed with a green screen for almost a year, this makes me really sad because this is a tie that I was unable to stream in because it straight up matched my green screen, and there was no way of making it work. This is too colorful for this outfit, but hey, I like this. All right, that one is done. Is the commentary good, or is this something that we should be muting myself throughout? We will see in post, really. You guys will know sort of in the future if you still hear me talking or not. All right. So here we go, a nice checkered one with multiple different colors going with it. Goat tail is a little short on this one, but hey, we're not, unless we totally flub things, we're gonna keep it going, and hey, if I have this hanging down, well, that's definitely really long, doesn't matter. There we go, nice and done, and tail and tucked. And that brings the first column to an end, so that is going to put us at 6. Next column, we got this blue with a little bit of red with a navy blue accent line in the middle. It is a nice tie with a couple different features in it that you can definitely pair with a lot of different outfits because there's a lot of different colors for you to pick up on. The pattern is decently muted, so you don't have a ton going on competing with what you got, but for a solid outfit like this, the pattern definitely helps give you something. All right, let's pop that one. Here we go, one of the more solid ties that I have in my collection. This is going to work well for a couple of the shirts that I own that are a little bit busier. Things that I have with stripes on them, things that I have with checkerboard, potentially if I have something paisley ever in the future. We have ourselves like the most boring tie in existence, a gray tie. But hey, sometimes you need a boring tie, am I right? Because the tie is not going to be the focal point of the outfit. The tie is instead, let's get you over just a little, the tie is instead just a thing that you are wearing as an accessory. There we go. That brings it up a little bit better. This is definitely the wrong knot for this shirt. I should be doing something a little bit wider. And so, you know what? Let's change our minds. We're going to go switch ourselves to a half Windsor. It'll be slightly slower, but I think it's going to look a heck of a lot better with this collar. All right, this is the best tie that I have in my collection. It is bright. It is purple. It is lovely. Seriously, it is the thing that stands out the most on my tie rack. It has gotten some comments from people just noticing it in the background. This is almost a conversation piece of a tie, and as someone who loves the color purple, oh, love this tie. And there we go. All right, pull that off. Here we go. We've got a nice solid what is this, argyle striped? One of those. I think it's argyle-esque. I really need to learn my patterns and the different things that I have going on. All right. I will definitely catch myself and go back to a 4-in-hand at some point throughout this video without realizing it, such is the way of muscle memory when you are trying to tie a high number of ties. All right, and bring that there, bring this collar down, adjust this, and there we go. All right, and we are almost done the second column. Let's see, this one and one more tie. So we have ourselves a tritone tie, which is pretty nice. We have ourselves sort of a reddish brown, we have a gray, and we have a blue. Similar to a previous one that I talked about, you've got multiple colors, so this will pair decently with multiple different outfits, as you can have it pair up with different things. The pattern again is nice and wide, giving you something very noticeable compared to some of the more fine patterns that you see. You can clearly see what's going on with this. Kind of feels like a tie I should be wearing to a barber shop, right? With one of those spinning poles. All right, last one in column number 2. This one, I believe, was picked up in a style box that was based off of like the Delta airline look. It was a Canadian, that doesn't really mean much. Up here it is like Air Canada and WestJet and a couple derivatives of that, and sometimes the occasional American company that you book out of like Vancouver or something like that. But yeah, no, it's something I really fly with, so it's something probably easier to wear here, whereas if I tried to wear it down in the States, it would just be, why do you work for Delta? Anyways, that's just a random aside there. So yeah, not much more to say about this. Red, white, and blue. All right, column number 3. I think this was the first tie I ever bought for myself. My mother bought me a couple ties when I was younger, but they were zip-up ties, and I found those the other day. You can totally check out my Instagram to see some pictures of those ties. This, I think, was the first one I ever picked up for myself, and I don't exactly remember why. Maybe even just caught my eye with the silver and blue. It's like a Walmart special, $15, something like that. Needed a tie. It's wider than most of the ones I'm used to getting, but it's kind of fun. It's really noticeable. It's bright. It's flashy. The lines change color as they go down, as you can see here. It's gorgeous. And it makes for a nice fat knot up here, which is wonderful. If you really want that knot to be something that people notice, as opposed to a nice skinny knot like, say, that four in hand that I was doing earlier. All right, here we go. This feels kind of Scottish in its look, like something that you would be wearing on, I don't know, a kilt? Yeah, something like that. Alternately, it's something that would just be like, yeah, a kilt is kind of what comes to mind. It could also be just like a schoolgirl skirt, though the coloration isn't exactly right. The pattern feels like it's there. Something one of my friends who enjoys wearing skirts might wear. Anyways, get that done there. We're just going to go with random commentary for 31 ties is apparently what we're going to do. All right, and there we go. All right. Christmas tie, oh man, any tie lover absolutely needs a couple seasonal ties in their collection. I'm going to step a little bit closer to the cam to show this tie off. Received this one, unfortunately, like 2 days after Christmas, so I didn't get much opportunity to wear this, but gosh, I love this one, and it will be broken out every Christmas until I wear this tie through. So stepping a little bit closer to you guys so you can see. Oh man, those pups, those snowflakes, and those candy canes are lovely. All right, pull that one off. We're almost finished column number 3. So we have here is a nice tight and white. It's kind of this like diamond, repeating diamond pattern in blue and red. I find it kind of gets lost. You have to be like really close to me to be able to see this one. Otherwise, it just kind of ends up a bit of a blur, as I'm sure you can kind of not make out on this cam and video, and you're just like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a blur. There's clearly some color because it's not white, but it doesn't really stand out in any noticeable way. So it's definitely one that ends up sitting on the tie rack for most of the time, and really only broken out for events such as this. And there we go. Also, not a great feeling tie. Just kind of feels a little, I don't know, cheap. It's like it's a fully cotton tie, which is a little weird. All right, here we go. Oh man, this tie. Love this tie. This one was, I think, a grad gift from a friend, from my best friend. And this tie is probably the best feeling tie I have. Should probably check. It's probably like a silk tie or something like that. She got it from a store in the mall she was working at that was going out of business, and it was sort of like the tie I would wear for a while when I needed a tie until I started accumulating a tie collection. It is still one that I love to go to because it's noticeable, it is bright, it is the thing that even if you were to take a little tie clip, I know I'm going away from that, and they're just like, oh, makes that look. All right, here we go. So I'll definitely have to do this again when I'm not talking throughout, so I can try to do this a little bit faster and see if I can beat the record I sent. All right, this is a Slytherin tie. This is just straight up, do you belong to the Harry Potter house Slytherin? This is probably the type of tie that you would own. It looks kind of like snake scale. It slightly feels scaly to the touch. It's got a lovely green and gray with a touch, a bit of blue look to it. I love the look as the person wearing it. I think a little bit of it is lost. It goes a little bit flat, but man, does it look and feel good, great when wearing it. Which I imagine was kind of what it feels like to be a Slytherin, am I right? I am totally a Ravenclaw, so I wouldn't know. Speaking of which, we have ourselves like the blue and gold of Ravenclaw. That was totally unintentional, but I love how that worked out. All right. What do I say about this one? This one is blue and gold. It's got a little bit of busyness to it. So it's definitely something that is going to be the focal point of your outfit with a tie like this. Definitely does not pair with the pink suspenders that I have going on. But, you know, here you go. Man, love it. That is a conversation piece of a tie. It's not like one of those music teacher conversation pieces, but just a different sort of conversation piece. All right. Uh-oh. Surprised that didn't happen earlier. Tie overboard. All right, let's get this one on. So we've got ourselves another green tie. This is very much like your classic picnic, what is it, like picnic blanket, picnic tablecloth sort of look, though flipped over into green instead of the red that I'm used to from that. But other than that, this feels like a tie that might, you should eat a sandwich off of, which is, you know, a weird thing to think of when you think of a tie, but hey, patterns have pattern recognition. All right, and there we go. All right, we are nearing the end. I hope I am counting this. We have a tie counter continually going because I have definitely lost any semblance of track. I know I'll be in the like last countdown in a moment. All right, gray, blue, surprisingly shows up better than I thought it would on camera here. Because I find in person it's actually a little bit flat. You lose a lot from it. There's a vibrancy seeing it on camera. Ooh, tail is definitely long on this one. You know what? This is the first one. We are going to retie it because I feel like I just flubbed that tie. There we go. So we get ourselves a bonus tying of a tie because I am tired. There we go. What's our pun count at? It's probably actually the first pun that I have made in this video. All right, there we go. That looks a heck of a lot better. That's just a touch short, but that is fine. And there we go. That knot needs just a little bit of work. We could slide that over a touch. But there we go. All right, on to the next one. This looks like the second to last one in, nope, third to last one. Never mind, we're still have a couple thin looking ties in this one. Here we go, a golden tie. I don't often get the opportunity to break this one out, but man, this tie stands out. This color is the like, ooh, I see you across the room. I see what you are wearing. I like it, or I don't like it, but you know, if you don't like it, you don't really comment. I see what you were wearing, and it stands out. And you, sir, have a good choice in ties. Or madame, you know, not judging, but, you know, I'm a sir, so I'm assuming someone's coming up to me and saying, you, sir, I like your tie. Let's bring that. It's a bit of a skinny tie. Really need a strong knot on something like this, because a heavy knot like the half, or a knot like the half Windsor is still looking really tiny on this one. Can't imagine what something like the four in hand would look like there. Or one that I just recently learned, the traditional, which is a really tiny knot, would just like disappear in that one and be like, are you just like have a tie sitting there? All right, here we go. I've got two variations on this tie. I've got it with the white dots and I've got it with some colored dots, and it's amazing how the exact same tie with an addition of colored dots changes how the viewer looks at the tie. It's actually really cool. And well, I have this one. I'm literally going to step behind because I'm in the midst of an anecdote and I can't help but talk about it. So we're totally delaying how long it takes to do this. In contrast, we have this one beside us. So yeah, you can see how the blue dots are in the exact same pattern, but they kind of just draw your eye and take it from like a diamond shape to a vertical? Diagonal, that's what I'm looking for, to a diagonal line. Right, and that one is back, and we are continuing on. All right, last of the ties in our second to last pile, we've got ourselves a navy blue bordering on black. I usually think this is black, but against the black shirt, it's definitely navy, with some flowers. Usually find a floral pattern to be quite overpowering, not something that really appeals to me, but this one is tight and small, and I find from afar it just sort of looks like some cool repeating pattern, whereas up close the flowers actually look nicely well done. So yeah, that's about it. Kind of fun, kind of fancy. I feel like I should be going to a garden party wearing something like this. Like, oh yes, we're gonna be enjoying some cocktails in the garden this evening. Apparently we got to go British when we try to do something like that. Aaron, why are we doing accents? I don't know, but apparently we're doing accents from here. And we're following up that floral pattern with this floral pattern, which is definitely much more floral. This feels like a floral pattern. Okay, we're gonna stop that because the accent is morphed like 3 times in the midst of that. This pattern here feels like something that I had on a couch growing up. So, you know, if I want to camo in a couch store, I don't know, something like so. And here we go, and we have flowers. All right, I think this puts us at a countdown of 4. So another gray one, but this one has got what would you call them, just dots throughout it. You can't really see it, so I am going to step up again close to the webcam so that you guys can see what this tie looks like, because it really doesn't give you a lot of an impression from this. All right, come on, you can do this. All right, and bring that up to the collar, and here we go. There you go. You can see at the top, there's a little bit of a glare because that's how I have the light set for back here. All right, and we'll undo this one, add to the ridiculously, utterly crazy pile that we have going on. All right, we've seen this pattern a couple times. This is just a white and what is color is this? Brown? I think it's like brown stitched with white that kind of makes it go a little bit gray. Definitely something you need some color with. So this I love with these suspenders. It helps make helps make the suspenders pop. All right, we're gonna have a very quick cut here, unless I don't actually cut this, and just pause the clock for a second. I have been talking a lot. I need a drink. So here we go. Always have a drink nearby when you are filming a video of some sort. Here we go. Yeah, as I said, this really shows off these suspenders, which I have clipped a little too close. So we're going to bring that out there and just make it look like I'm really skinny or something, right? All right, and continuing on, we are at 3. All right, it's the final countdown. Do I own the rights to that? I definitely don't own the rights to that. All right, and we are still continuing on the half Windsor. I don't think I've flipped over to a 4 in hand yet. This is the point where in post, I'm definitely going to have flipped over to a 4 in hand once or something like that beside me. This is a boring tie. I like never break out this tie. It is the like unwanted, I don't know, that unwanted sheet set in the back of your linen closet of the ties. It's just kind of dull and boring and flat, and I don't really like what's going on with that, but I own it and it gives me something. Someday I will find the perfect outfit for you. Until then, you're going to continue sitting in the back of the tie rack. All right, number 2. This is another cottony feeling tie. It definitely feels different than most of the others. It's a lot thicker, which I find actually makes tying it that much more difficult. It's just, I don't know, fatter and not what I'm used to working with. I kind of like it as far as colors go. It's beige. Like, it is dull in a tie, but sometimes you want something dull. You've got dull, you've got a little dot pattern that we've seen on a couple of our different ties. And again, the beige tie really makes something else pop, like these. And even the black shirt is much more noticeable with the beige tie here. You kind of just look around it. You're like, yep, that is beige. All right, oof, that is difficult to bring off. And for our last, final tie, it's the final countdown. I've definitely already done that joke. We have this lovely white and blue number, which I definitely take many opportunities to try and break out whenever possible, because I just love the blue on this one. It's bright, it's sunny, it is vibrant, it is nice. It works really well for what I'm doing as a Magic the Gathering player because it pairs up with a couple different decks. If I'm playing white and blue, this is the tie that I want to be wearing. Even if I'm just playing blue, I want to be wearing it. It's just, I don't know, almost everything I want in a simple tie. All right, let's do that. And there we go. Clip that guy on. Let's adjust that slightly. And there we go. That is 31 ties in however many minutes that currently is on the clock, with a little bit of extra going on. We're probably going to redo this again in the future, where instead of talking through every single tie that I'm doing, we'll see how this goes in post. Let's try that with a nose scratch. As I scratch my nose and I try to go for a zero cut thing, because if I cut this is weird. Anyways, I will probably try doing this again in the future where I literally just do this as fast as possible rather than talking about it and letting my hands go through the motion. Hopefully that'll be fun. Anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out with me through this ridiculously silly experiment. My name again is Aaron, aka Feldy. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you like it, and if you thought something was interesting or cool here, please leave a comment below. If you ever want to hang out with me live and comment on some of the outfits, or even want some style advice of some sort, you can also find me streaming on Twitch Sunday through to Wednesday. Link also in the description below. It's been amazing. Peace.